Okay, so we're going to get right into it. Cracking the code on visit frequency and promo timing. How do you ensure it's the right timing, the right cadence to not cause fatigue, yet still drive that demand that you need? I'm your moderator, I'm Kate Terhune, and I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves.
All right, I am Jason Adlman. I'm the growth manager at Hibbett. Main responsibilities are around the loyalty program, CRM, customer data, analytics, and then the mobile marketing program, SMS, RCS, push, and like app notifications.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Grosz. I lead influencer marketing at Allbirds. This covers everything from paid influencer, affiliate influencer, community, gifted experiences, and then also supports social as well.
And hey guys, I'm Robert Relief III. I am a senior product manager at Nordstrom. What that means is I am traditionally overseeing loyalty design, so the loyalty creation, also the iteration of the loyalty program for both digital and physical experiences.
Awesome. All right, Rob, we're actually going to start with you. Given your perspective, your unique perspective on the product side of the business, tell me, what's one belief about promo timing or visit frequency that you feel like the industry just needs to rethink?
We definitely need to rethink the promotion calendar. The promotion calendar in itself is not something that you can just use to launch promotions for the customer. The promotion calendar is something that we use to drive business value. We need to actually think about context and relevancy, and more importantly, trust. So it's about making sure that customer trusts you to solve for their job to be done. Meaning if I'm coming to Nordstrom because I want an outfit, I want a new sports outfit, I'm just starting to work out again, how do I make sure I can get that outfit at Nordstrom and then serving that customer with the promo at the most relevant and contextual time? So like, it's all about intention, and it's all about, to me, just relevance.
I love that. Intentionality is great. We're going to be hearing that theme a lot here, I feel like, for the next couple of days. Sarah, you manage influencers and tend to love a promotion. How do you get to a strategy that allows them to unlock frequency, drive action without too much of that promotional element?
Yeah, so it's always a challenge, especially because when I think of influencer marketing beyond just executing campaigns and strategy, like I'm a customer myself as well. And so I'm going to brands tagged posts and seeing which influencers recently tagged me so I can get a promotion for my next purchase. And so it's always on promotion when we're working with influencers, and there's just some interesting tactics that you can do with such a small sample size, because you're only working with influencers' audience. You're not working with your own customers. You don't have the same volume of reach that you might get from paid social or paid media. And so it's a really amazing testing ground. And so what I do is I actually embed UTMs with every single influencer link that I send, both paid and affiliate, and I turn off that email pop-up. So I'm not competing with just our intro offer that's always on. And that gives me more playing ground to even discount less than what we're offering as like our evergreen new customer acquisition offer, so that I can be a lot more efficient when I'm marketing through my influencers. So that's just like one tactic that I do. And then also what's really interesting in the playing ground, especially with my affiliates, is the reason why they're able to join my community and they're happy about it and excited is because they make the commission. And that's all through their usage of their discount codes. And one of the most interesting strategies that I've seen work time and time again is actually turning off their codes during promotional periods, so they're not double stacking, but it's a better offer that they would be able to give their own network than their affiliate codes. And it always wins. Their audience always feels like our seasonal promotions are better than what they would get at 10-15%. So it's just a win-win, but it's such a small pool, it's perfect for testing.
Okay, Aaron, I'm going to put a quarter in your AI cookie jar. So let's jump into the topic of the day. Jason, how are you using AI to optimize your promotional strategy?
Yeah, so we have partnered with a company called Movable Ink. We do a lot with them. I think they're at a table over. Yeah, hey. But they have a new tool that they call DaVinci, and it uses AI to kind of decide when and what the customer should see from an email perspective. At least we've launched with email right now. And basically what you do is you have to build up a fairly large bank of content that you want to be able to present during a certain time frame. And you load all of that in. You load in a whole bunch of data, like customer data, CRM data, transactional data. And the tool takes all of that and kind of analyzes their patterns based on when they should see the message and what kind of content that they should see. And so on any given day, like, we're not really using segments through email anymore. We're just letting the tool decide on what the customer should see. So we'll send them a message, based on frequency and things like that, but it's deciding on what the customer is actually seeing, what kind of content's more relevant to them in that moment.
That's fascinating. Awesome. Okay, so similar question. Let's go to you, Rob. Through the lens of a product strategy, how are you using AI to optimize?
So the first way that we're using AI to optimize is more so thinking about like the ways that I can give myself more time to think about and design enterprise extensible systems. So for example, I'm using AI to create product requirement documents, using AI to think about testing strategies, and that way it frees me up to think about how do I build an enterprise extensible system where I can segment my audience, give them some type of promo that they can redeem as many times as we tell them to, so I can control the redemption times. I can also control the channels, and then I can also think more about how do I be, once again, contextually relevant and give the customer something that really relates strongly to my brand and shows that I know the customer. So one thing that we've been doing is thinking about like birthday, for example. We've seen a really high amount of promo redemption around birthday promotions because it shows the customer that we know them, we're being personalized, and then we also personalize what that offer is for that customer.
And that is why my entire wardrobe for this event is brought to you by Nordstrom. Okay, Sarah, how are you using AI? Are you using any predictive tools in the influencer space to either influence your content strategy or audience targeting strategy?
The most interesting way I use AI in this context is finding relevant content that I can use as like a flywheel for ad creative. So I'm just able to throw in a prompt and see all of my tagged content, including stories, and it will spit out everything. So everything from specific colors of shoes I'm able to find, and then it's just like a quick turnaround, especially if the content is more evergreen. When we're thinking about promotion, it's all how you edit and craft the content that already exists in a quick way. So it's usually by adding text that I'm able to like really push quickly to take advantage of this timeliness.
Okay, so sticking with you for just another moment, how do you align creator and affiliate campaigns to your larger strategic promotional calendars?
Yeah, I mean, so it can never be competitive. And the most challenging thing, like I mentioned before, is influencers and affiliate. It's really a promotional channel. I would say it really aligns with email acquisition, where you're always offering that 15 or 10% discount just to get that customer acquired. And so I'm just not able to do that when there's on-site promotions, especially when we're thinking about Black Friday or Memorial Day, when it's usually like a site-wide sale. And so what I do instead is I offer typically codes for non-markdown items, so they're still able to push their own discounts so we can track. And then also it's really honing in on the UTM, so that email isn't taking advantage and they're not taking that attribution from me, even though I'm bringing in the traffic during these high promotional periods. Something else that has really worked is really honing in on where you're sending traffic. I actually have my own landing pages that it's universal for every influencer that I work with. It's called a community favorites page, and basically I optimize the silhouettes and styles that they're promoting. It's going to be like 1 out of 5 styles that they're featuring. And so it's just a very simple landing page where you can find one of those 5 top styles. And that converts really well. And it also drives just the attribution back when there's a promotion going on, just because there's no other channel driving traffic to this page.
Interesting. Okay, awesome. Let's get a little tactical for a minute. Jason, can you share an example of a promotion or a loyalty tactic that maybe backfired? It didn't give you quite the results that you were expecting?
I can absolutely share that. So we had a moment, it was some years ago, where we wanted to try to drive some incrementality during like down period in between what we call at Hibbett Taxmas and back to school. So kind of a dip around the May timeframe. And we thought it'd be a great idea to try to pull in some incrementality from some lapsed customers through direct mail. So we got our deciles out and looked at who we thought would be the best from a lapsed perspective to try to drive back into the store. And we sent a postcard out, had an offer on it. It was like, hey, come redeem this. Haven't seen you in a while. It'd be great. You came and shopped, grabbed a new pair of shoes or something like that. But we basically lit all of that money on fire because that did not work at all. Like, people did not respond like we were hoping, and it was just, well, yeah. Numbers spoke for itself. So we've since learned that through that channel, it's kind of best to try to drive during your peak shopping periods and push trying to get your market share during those times versus lulls.
Got it. So lean into the strength of the season is what you're telling me.
At least through that channel, yeah.
Okay. You didn't kill the direct mail campaigns.
That didn't kill it, no.
Kate, you mind if I jump in on that one? Because we did an interesting test at Nordstrom. So when we were redesigning the Nordstrom loyalty program, we did a design sprint to figure out if we could hide promotions in the store. So we wanted to have the customer go in the store and scan a bunch of different tags, and depending on how many tags they scanned and how engaged they were with the platform, they would stumble upon a promotion. And the reason that we wanted to do that is because we saw that persona was, we call them the bargainista. And so they love going on treasure hunts, they love finding good deals and discounts. So we launched a scrappy MVP test, built something in like a rapid sprint, and we sat in stores and we monitored how many tags a customer physically touched. And we actually, the test was a huge failure because customers only touch around 10 to 12 tags. And we didn't want to give them a promotion that quickly because that promotion, one, had to be highly targeted based on the product that they were looking at, because if it wasn't based on, like, call it Nike stuff, that promotion wouldn't be relevant. And we didn't want to give an all-inclusive cart promo, so like 25% off your promo, because then customers would start to gamify it. So it just wasn't relevant. It was too much effort for the customer. We had to figure out a way to simplify the promotion and getting the promotion in the customer's hands after they've engaged with us to a threshold that was something that was aligned with our high customer lifetime value scores.
How did you know that they were touching the tags?
We watched them on camera.
Wow.
Real creeper status.
Okay. Awesome. Fascinating. Okay.
Secret shopping in store. It got kind of weird.
You know, it's not good. I'm not deterred. I'm still going to shop. Spy on me all you want.
We have cameras in our stores, and you can tell when someone comes in, where they're hanging out, what promos they've looked at, what products they're shopping. Like, it tracks them the whole time. You can even tell how tall they are.
Show of hands. Is this a normal thing? Does everybody? Okay. Maybe it's just you guys. Okay. So let's see. We've got a few minutes left, so let's keep going. Talk to me, Rob. Again, this is another question for you. How do loyalty program insights shape your segmentation and your frequency strategies?
So the loyalty program insights are really helpful because customers have to authenticate, and they also give us FLIM, so first name, last name, email address, mobile. And so we know who you are when you're shopping. And based on what they're looking at, we can give them a promotion based on those types of things, search criteria, relevant contextual information. But really what we see is We just have to be personalized, meaning like show that I know what your occasions are, what you're shopping for, to get a high redemption. If not, redemption is going to be relatively low. It's almost like throwing a grenade into a field. But if I know why you're shopping, like for example, you just got a new job, and I know that you need new professional clothes, and so I'm going to give you 20% off a certain merchandise category. We see a much higher redemption. The problem is though, we have to prove to the customer that we're going to utilize that data the correct way when we get it. And if it's not a quick enough turnaround, it looks as almost if we wasted that attempt with them, because they threw their information out there. They didn't get anything back in return quick enough. But at the same time, we don't want to give you a promo for a trip that you would have shopped anyway.
Interesting. Sarah, how about you? If you're thinking about the right time, you've got to balance trends, you've got to balance your promotional calendar. How do you balance not giving too much and preventing them from shopping when they would have naturally shopped anyways?
Yeah, I think about influencer and community as its own loyalty program, I would say. And so I even have my own email segments, and I collect all of the information that you're saying, but in a community sense. So I can send relevant information to my own community so that they're prepared to post quickly. So I'm sending them like a listserv text, because I know that they're on their phone, and not only that, I'm sending them actual content that they can just save to their phone and repost to their stories, especially if it's in a timely occasion, especially like I'm not telling them that we're having a sale to like a week in advance. It would be nice if I could, but I'm just not able to give them that information, because then they're gonna tell their audience, don't shop yet, wait for this sale, and that's what I want to avoid. So instead, I just make sure that I have all of their information, like on my own loyalty program, and I'm creating content for them so that they can just post, shoot it out, and get that quick turnaround with that timeliness.
That's super interesting, because that's like the reason we built a benefit for the Nordstrom Rack Loyalty Program called Rack Up Rewards. It's because merchants, they want velocity, they want speed, they want to get the product out the door. Our marketers, they want engagement, they want promotion, redemption. Loyalty, they want retention. Me, I want like to change customer behaviors. So we had to build an enterprise extensible capability to be able to segment promotions, so that way that I can author a promotion to a certain audience, and only that audience can redeem the promotion. And so I can control who I'm giving what promotion to, when they redeem it, how they redeem it, how often they can redeem it.
Okay, so that makes me think of another question, Rob. How do you balance and make sure that you're helping the needs of your merchants with the needs of your customers, with the needs of et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? How do you think about cross-functional collaboration?
Every product manager in this room probably understands my frustration with this question. I would say one, it starts at the top of the pyramid. We have to really understand our strategic pillars, our core objectives, how the project that we're doing aligns to those things, what those key KPIs are, the North Star vision, and then make sure that everyone's aligned with that North Star vision. And then from that point, it's about sequencing and trade-offs, to be honest. And we got to be super crystal clear about what we're not going to do, and what needs to be traded off to deliver the program under a certain time. And I know it's not agile to work backwards from a date, but with the Nordstrom Rack Loyalty Program, there was 30 plus different teams that we had to work with, right, to launch that new program. So we had to pick a date and say, this is the date, work backwards from the date, and like, hey, all other work kind of stops, or it needs to get reprioritized. So you have to understand what everyone needs, and it really comes into play with building the solution. If I understand what all my stakeholders need, I can build the right solution, and then you're never going to get what you want, at least for the MVP, at least, first release. And so it's really about stage gating that release, so that way the long-term product does satisfies everyone's needs, and it feels like you're eventually gaining what you want in the long term for the things that you had to give up. Because a lot of teams sometimes aren't happy because they have to just completely stop work to focus on like building a new loyalty program. But I can tell you, like, hey, in the next year and a half, we will be able to thoroughly change customer behavior, launch a promo that can drive quick, redemption, and then also drive retention with that by changing the behaviors of that customer. So, but that's the long term. And it's just a lot of conversation, a lot of communication, and just being crystal clear about the trade-offs, in my opinion.
Jason, I see you shaking your head.
Oh, yeah.
Thoughts?
I mean, I completely agree with everything. There's so much communication all the way from the executive team to the merchants, the buyers, even the vendors, because, you know, we work with, you know, people like Nike, Adidas, and a lot of the bigger shoe companies, and like they've got their things that they want to push, their shoes that are coming out. We've got a launch calendar, so every week there's a new shoe coming out that we're trying to make sure everyone knows about and build hype around that. So it's a constant, like, moving, undulating kind of like process that we are molding in the moment, tracking business trends. We have a raffle program that corresponds with the launches, so you can sign up to say, hey, I want to buy that shoe when it comes out, but there's a finite amount of them, so we have to use the raffle system to try to make it fair for the people when the demand is high. We can view trends through that to see how many people are interested in the shoe and make like up to the moment decisions. But it's a lot of like just communicating across all of those different people, parts of the company, making sure everyone's aware that we're doing what we can that's best for the customer and the company all at the same time.
Interesting.
I just have to say one quick thing.
Of course, please.
The only thing I have to add is CX is so important throughout this whole conversation. I feel like if I didn't have like a locked-in CX team, I would not be able to do any of my promotion testing or really anything that I was able to like communicate here. It's just so core to have a tight CX team that knows your timeline.
Absolutely. Okay, last question before we pass you guys off for some audience Q&A. How do you incentivize omni-channel shopping?
Okay, well, I mean, it's really just about, I guess for us, like the messages that we are putting out, like we just want you to shop, you know, honestly. Like, we're here to make the dollar. We don't care where you do it. And we kind of try to balance our promotional scheduling and our around, like, we've got something going on the website that's independent from the things the things that would drive you into the store. So there's not any kind of fight between the channels. They have their own promotional cadence and things that they'll target to try to keep the separation between the two and not like.
Customer, if you're going to go into the store, I can give you more off. Plus, our customers know that when you shop at the rack, it's the thrill of the hunt. And you're probably going to find some stuff that's not online that we would never put online at the store. Like, for example, you might find a Gucci wallet, you might find Gucci purses in the Nordstrom rack store. You're not going to see that online, though. So you have to go into the store to find that. And so we incentivize the customer to go on treasure hunts. And we have promos that they can only redeem in store. And we don't talk about some of those products that they may find because they know it's like a needle in a haystack. And then when it comes to, you know, mobile optimized web and desktop, customers go there, they flow. We didn't have to do a whole lot to get customers to go there. If anything, we're trying to drive the .com shopping to more of an app-focused shopping. So that's why we incentivized the customer to do more with the app, and we're constantly going to incentivize the customer that you just get more with our app.
Great, thank you. Okay, audience, questions?
Aaron up in the front.
Hi, I'm Allison from Locala. My question is, what tools do you guys leverage to understand the offline and online behavior patterns? And it sounds like for you, Jason, it might not be as relevant because you said you don't really care about that. But
well, no, like we analyze them independently. So like we've got GA data, so like Google Analytics, for all the online stuff, and then we have our own BI tools that we can use. But we also, for a lot of the in-store stuff, we've got an analytics firm that we partner with based out of Ohio called Baseman. And we pump all of our CRM and transactional data over to them, and they do a lot of the like analyzing and reporting on a lot of the in-store initiatives that we run and campaigns. So we kind of split it up that way. She asked if there was a platform that unified all of that. We've had talks about CDPs, like getting everything all in one place, but we haven't done that yet. So the short answer is no.
Ready over here. Hi, me again, Rachel Eisen, Movable Ink, Director of Retail Strategy. We talked a lot about how you don't want to give a promotion to someone who's going to convert anyway. When I had the pleasure of helping to stand up Sephora's targeted promotion program, one of the quandaries we had was when we stopped rewarding our best customers, like it felt like we were punishing our rouges for knowing that they would convert anyway. So I guess, like, how do you balance that, giving up money and also rewarding your loyalists?
Good question.
Incrementality. So we understand how many times a customer shops per year, and if I want to drive an incremental trip, it's just about like, well, what are the reasons that you shop with normally? And I can tell you most of the time it's like our Nordstrom anniversary sale, it's Christmas, it's someone's birthday, for gifting. But like when I want to drive a trip that is new behavior for you because I've segmented you into a certain pool of customers, how do I get you to say, for example, I'll give you a promotion to go shop beauty because you don't shop beauty with me. I'll give you a promotion to do something differently because we have customer lifetime value scores, as we all know. It's just like, well, what are our most valuable customers behave like? What do they do? And how do I incentivize this customer that is a great customer, don't get me wrong, but how do I get them to behave more like our highest CLV customers? And so it's just about incentivizing things that are just maybe not in normal course for you to do something differently, and I'll give you a promo to do those things.
And I would say for me, it's affiliate partnerships, and I mask that as my community. So I say like, hey, I know you're such a loyalist, join my community and let me reward you for getting your friends, turning your friends into customers too. And so instead of having them discount like their friends' purchases, they just get rewarded as a commission. And that's the positive reinforcement that has been working for me.
Yeah, for us, we'll break different groups out into deciles and just kind of measure what we think their incrementality will be and target kind of based off of the score that we give them, so that we've got a kind of a blend of making sure the people that are looking for those offers at the certain time frames, especially around direct mail, like we'll have people that get left out and they'll call customer service and be like, I get this postcard every year, I didn't get it this year, why not? And we'll, of course, have customer service take care of them or something like that. But yeah, it's a lot of analytics just around like shopping behavior and how incremental we think they'll be, and try to balance out taking care of our customers, our members, and the ones who expect and have been a part of the program for a really long time and kind of know the cadence of where we fall into all that kind of stuff, as well as making sure that we're grabbing a lot of the new people and training them to like make return trips and get the incrementality out of that and the retention.
All right, Jason, Sarah, Rob, Kate, thank you so much.